Welcome back, everyone, to another session of the Half-Rate Heroes. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We had a week off last week, and now we're back. We're ready to charge through the rest of the Shadowfell, right?
Yeah!
Yeah. All right. So, previously on the Half-Rate Heroes, our heroes had begun to notice a problem. A collision of multiple planes clashing together, and a common theme amongst them all. Some individual, some other unknown master being is working on a ploy, on a plan, and that involves placing a crystal in the Shadowfell and in the Feywild. A couple of weeks ago, they destroyed the crystal on the Feywild. Now, last week, he destroyed the crystal in the Shadowfell. However, leading up to the process of getting into the Shadowfell, our party cut off their only known way of getting back to the material plane, were warned at least twice not to let wampum destroy the crystal, and not to let the crystal be destroyed before the item feeding upon it is removed. And so what happened just before we finished last session, wampum destroyed the crystal before the amulet feeding on it had been destroyed. So I believe we ended last week's session after an intense little bit of a battle within a storm lightning temple, a temple to Koth, and Kale was shouting at wampum. So, what would you guys like to do? You have the bodies of the fiends all around you, and lightning is still sparking in this place.
As Kale is yelling, I'm going to go over to the larger demon that just got hewn in half, and I'm going to start kind of cutting off his horns.
Okay. Which of your skills are you going to use to do that?
With sleight of hand work.
How?
Because I'm handling my knife with finesse, found only in skilled usage of the digits.
Okay, it's going to be difficult to use sleight of hand to do this, but go ahead.
Well, that would be a 14.
Okay. As you begin cutting away and trying to take the horn off the head of this large creature, it shatters the horn.
Okay. Good thing he has two.
Would you like to still use sleight of hand for the other one?
No, I'm going to ask Nos for help. Nos, would you be able to help me with this?
What'd you want?
I want his horn.
Okay. Look around. Is the place still electrocuted?
Yep, it's still every couple of minutes. The walls ignite with lightning.
Is there any way that I could drag that body out, or is that too much even for me?
What's your carry capacity? What's your strength score?
Strength score is 20.
Okay, so 15 times that. I'd say if you have help, you could drag the body. This huge armor knight is a heavy beast. It's close to about 500 pounds.
Okay, that's going to take more time than I'm willing to stay in this place. So I'll quickly go over there and just try to break the horn off.
Okay. And if you're getting help from Ali, you can have advantage on it, or Ali can have advantage on their check. But what are you doing to be able to do it? Like, what are you using?
Raw strength. So I'm going to go for an athletics check using some wrist action there.
Mm-hmm.
And I will just resist.
Okay, so you're holding onto the head.
Mm-hmm.
Nos just grabs the horn.
Put a boot down on its face, yeah.
Go ahead and roll athletics with advantage. You pull and you break off the horn. Unfortunately, it doesn't break at the skull. It breaks further up. So you do have a small piece of the horn, but not everything.
I'm going to shove it into Allie's hands and then grab her and then start bolting out.
Okay.
Throw it into the backpack, and I will follow Nos at it.
Do we need to do something with this amulet on the ground right there?
So that got hockey pucked over to me, right?
Yep. It's by your feet.
So after shouting at Wampum, he's just going to resume doing that to get it out, like trying to use his angelic mace like a broom to just kind of sweep the thing out the door.
Okay.
Wampum starts to walk away from Kale, gets about 3 to 4 steps away, stops, puts his head down, and shakes his head, and then spins on his heels and comes very quickly back to Kale. Says, you know what, Elf? You need to back the fuck up. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
I have been insulted by you elf kind since we started this mission. Now, my skin be getting a little thin, I say. Now, let's back up and let's think about what went on in this place. First of all, that angel thing said that we needed to separate this crystal from its connection. But the connection not be in this place. Then you tell me that Morden cannot reach me here. But yet you are talking to Denier. So how do we know that you talking to Denier when Morden can't talk to me? Another one. You said that the connection was supposed to be with this centaur. But then everybody changes their mind and says, no, it's to this crystal, that thing that's at the bottom of your feet. And then we have my girl, she's not acting right, she's not fighting right. And then we got Lacardio, who is scared that his shadow was going to kill him. And then we got Adley, who is talking all kinds of freaky stuff. The only thing that made any sense whatsoever was that crystal had to break. That was the mission. The mission be completed now.
So while he's saying this, Kale's going to just continue trying to just shove the thing out of this place. And unless Wampum's going to try and stop me, he's just going to keep doing that until he gets outside.
Now, Wampum kind of turns on his heels and says, I'm out of here.
So he went back to everyone else?
He was coming at you.
Yeah.
And he was, doing his yelling.
Yeah.
And then he just spun back on his heels and walked the way that he was walking.
Okay, so back in. Got it. Cool. Just what I wanted. And so yeah, I mean, Kale's just gonna continue to go out the door with this thing because he's more interested in that.
Just waiting next to Allie, like, what? The building's being electrocuted. Why aren't they exiting?
I kind of just mournfully look at the shattered horn. I'm like,
Kale, Mike, I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and pick up the amulet with my magic hand, and there will be no consequences because there's no one to say otherwise.
Hey, sorry.
Oh.
My earphones are screaming at me, and I can't hear a thing that you guys are saying.
uh-oh.
So have fun.
Okay, so I'm just gonna bend over and pick it up, and I'm gonna channel some divine energy right through it, and a spark of electricity is gonna fire out the other side and kill whoever was getting it. So.
We beat D&D.
We won the game.
Don't have an auxiliary cord.
Is that his earphones blasting his microphone?
That's a static we're here.
So, Nos, what were your thoughts about that fight?
I'm glad we're alive.
Much better.
Me
Huzzah!
Okay.
Oh,
Can you guys hear me?
I can
Yep.
hear you.
too. Yes.
All right, good. So-
Where did we lose you?
Wampum was still talking.
Okay.
That's when I couldn't hear a thing anymore.
Okay, so just as he finished talking, and Kale didn't really acknowledge his existence, and then Wampum turned around and went back to everyone else, while Kale continued to try and knock this thing out the door.
Fair enough.
And, I don't know if Lafcadio was actually going to do the mage hand thing, because that would be a good idea.
Yeah. I'll cast Mage Hand and pick up the amulet spectrally.
So the idea is I'm trying to get it out of the building to see if lightning things stop happening to it.
As you use the mage hand to just float the amulet out of the building, you remember you guys had to step through an illusory wall to get in. You step out, you do notice that the lightning begins to die down. It's still going, but less frequently. The further away from the center you're taking this amulet away, the less frequent the lightning strikes are.
Okay.
But you guys are still now on top of the citadel that is floating through the Shadowfell. Roll perception checks, everyone.
18.
14. Well,
17 for me.
my passive is 16.
All right.
Yeah, my passive is 20.
All right. It's very subtle, but the ground feels a little bit different. Now, those of you 16 or higher do notice that, hang on, the citadel is now moving quicker than before. So it's not moving down, it's staying the elevation that it's at, it's still floating, but before it was only moving, moving westward at less of a rate than you could walk, less than 3 miles an hour. Now it's picked up quite a bit of pace, and it's floating quickly.
I do not
Okay.
notice this.
Okay.
Never mind that.
Okay.
What am I going to do about that right now? Kale's more interested in this amulet.
Mhm.
So you said I got out of the building with all the lightning in it.
Yes, you got out of the building with all the lightning on it.
Great. He's gonna just sit down and pull just some crystals out of his pack, some random crystals, power crystals for time travel. But he's gonna use them to cast augury. Just gonna roll them and toss them and cast that spell.
All right. So, what are you asking?
I have to ask something. I wanted to ask if I should. What will happen if I touch this thing with my skin? Touch the amulet, lightning amulet, with my finger.
Okay. And the result is either going to be wheel, woe, neither, or both, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So what will happen if I touch this? Wheel and woe.
Oh,
Of
something good
course.
will happen.
Of
So I'll
course.
touch it.
Okay. You touch it. While you're in physical contact with it, you feel as if you are under the effect of the haste spell.
So what's bad about that? Okay.
So as he touches it, I'm looking really close just to make sure nothing happens to him. Do I notice anything noteworthy?
So, perception or insight, I would say.
Let's go perception. Natural 1, so that's a 5.
Okay. No, everything seems to be fine. He looks all right. Nothing weird or different about him.
So very quickly now, he will, even though he's not trying to be quick, he'll pick it up. He'll pick it up really quick and plop it in a mundane pouch that he has, not a bag of holding, because it was communicating with somebody. And then
so you let go of it, and just like when the haste spell is removed from you, you feel that wash of stun, except whereas the haste spell normally just says you can't take any actions or movement for the turn afterwards, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
I'm really good at these. I rolled a 1.
Okay. So you know how sometimes there's if the person fails by so much more than...
Oh, no.
Die instantly? Yeah, that's cool.
You don't die instantly, but you are instantaneously paralyzed.
So he goes and he plops it in a pouch and then just stops.
What's going on, mate?
Is he all right?
I think we lost Kale.
Just freeze your camera. Don't mess with your camera. Don't make technical problems. All right. So Kale just goes rigid. No response. Nothing.
I'm gonna nudge him until he falls over, I guess.
Poke him, and he wobbles a little bit, and then he will teeter over that point and hit the ground, landing prone.
That's not good.
Well, I think something's wrong with that amulet that he touched.
You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage, Kale.
Sure.
You hit the ground hard. Your head just whacks into the ground.
All right, well.
All right, I'm the brains of the operation now.
Oh, no.
All right, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but the flying island that we're on is accelerated.
Oh, I noticed. I just didn't think it was important.
I have the ability to to fly some of us to get us off this thing, if we want to do that. However, I can only fly 3 folks now, so keep that in mind.
At all or at a time?
2 at one time and then 1 at another time. So I would maybe suggest that if we want to get off this thing, I cast it on 2 folks, and then those 2 folks carry Kale with Allie's help. So all 4 fly down, and then when you guys get when you get to the ground, I'll cast it on myself and follow along.
So down there is where we get accosted by ghosts and specters and shadow dogs and every sort of other unholy thing. Up here, I have only been attacked by an angel and a few demons, which we killed and saved.
But down there is the potential way home. Or at least lead to it.
I mean, are you saying the city isn't headed the way we need to go?
Probably not. Probably far, far away from the place where we need to go.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know anything about this place.
Well, it doesn't like you to complete your goals. We know that much. And it'll mess with you in order to ensure that. So I'm going to say whatever it's doing, we won't like it. And Lafcadio, do you think that I could carry Kale on my own? Because normally I can. So.
I wouldn't risk it because we're pretty high up, and it's not just your strength that we're counting on. It's the magic, and I don't. Even though I am the brains of the operation now, I don't want to push our luck here.
Yeah, that's why I asked. All right, let's get out of here then. We'll use that method.
All right.
Okay.
I will cast Fly on Wampum and Nos.
And then the three of you will pick up Kale's paralyzed body. Now, picking up a body that has no control over itself is a whole new situation. Dead weight is quite apt for right now, as his body just feels heavier than it would normally be. You guys heft it together. The three of you should be able to fly down without any problem. But the moment you start floating off the Citadel, you realize just how quick the Citadel is shifting. And already, the moment you step off, it's already moving 20, 30 feet away from you. It's picked up an incredible speed. It's almost a little disorienting the first time you step off, like stepping off an escalator. You just jolted. You'll get down to the ground, but how long is that going to take you? We said 1,000 feet. It'll take you. How long would it take you to get down there?
120 feet every round with a dash.
Yeah.
So 9 to 10 rounds. 8 to 10 rounds.
Okay. So less than a minute. Well, that's good. So then Lafcadio, by the time that he is able to cast Fly on himself, is only 300 feet away from you guys. So not too far when he casts Fly and begins to move. And then the thing just keeps going westward. The Citadel just keeps moving. When you land down on the ground, softly, as you would, with Lafcadio then coming shortly afterwards, you would notice that the ground is fairly flat and barren, but everything is dark. You can't see more than about 60 foot away from you as normal, but there is a wall of fog that just seems to just crouch up to your current position, right to the edge of your vision, and stand at like a 15-foot tall wall of fog all around you.
I hate this place so much.
I like the city a lot better.
I am so ready to get out of here.
My thoughts are that we turn to Shadow Everland, because we know that there is someone there who crosses between the worlds. Maybe there's something around there.
I do have an idea. It'll, after a short rest, I have the ability to banish creatures back to their home planes. After a short rest, I could do that for two of us, but I don't know exactly where we'd end back up.
Okay, so that sounds like a good plan C.
Do it.
But yeah, I agree. We need shelter. We need somewhere to hole up. I have no idea how we're gonna fix Kale. Hopefully, he'll go away with some rest.
So if that doesn't work, this happened because he put on the amulet.
Because he touched it, it looked like.
So if we put it back on him, maybe he'll be okay?
I'll mage. Oh wait, he dropped it in his bag of holding, right?
No.
No,
Mundane
in his
pouch.
component mundane pouch.
All right, I'll mage hand. I'll see if I can pick it up out of there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll stick it on him.
Wait. Before you do that, he's paralyzed now just from briefly holding it. Are we sure if we save him now by putting this on it, the cumulative hangover, like if he was drinking, isn't going to kill him when he takes it off the next time?
We don't know anything.
Better him than me.
All right, I spectrally put it on his person.
Okay. Kale, your body goes into overdrive, and your metabolism just starts speeding up incredibly fast. You're still paralyzed, but your body is capable of so much more. Unfortunately, as you place it on him and wait for a moment, you all notice that while the benefit of having the thing allowed him to be able to move quicker or do more things in a quick space of time, that very much was the thing. His metabolism was burning in overdrive. Kale's arms begin to shrink. His flesh begins to tighten around bones as muscles begin to atrophy.
I pull it off him.
Okay. Constitution saving throw, please, Kale.
Sure.
With disadvantage.
I have one inspiration currently that I should have used when I rolled the one before, but I forgot.
Okay, so
I'm gonna go
cancel
ahead and-
out the disadvantage.
Yeah.
Just a straight up roll.
Oh, well, that fell on the ground, everybody. I
No
think.
ones, no ones, no ones, no
Let me
ones.
just,
no
I'll
ones.
just grab a different one. There we go. I rolled a 10.
Okay.
Better than
What's
one.
your con modifier?
It is nothing.
Okay. So still paralyzed, but not any worse. Which is good. All right.
I don't think it did
However,
anything. I think we still have to carry him.
With the time spent on your person, Kale,
Yep.
you will take 18 points of necrotic damage.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right, let's head back. Who knows where we're going?
Survival checks all around.
This fog looks a lot like the other fog.
Sure does. I got a
think-
5.
I think we've seen this fog before. 20.
I got an 11.
I got a 16.
Right. Lafcadio, you start looking, trying to get a bearing of where you are. Everything just seems dark and desolate. The sky is grey. Everything's grey. The ground is grey. Even you feel grey. But you see a little spark of light, a little beam of green, just to the east of your current position. A little speck. And you feel a pull towards that green speck. You get your bearings and you believe that should be back eastwards. The ship was moving west. You were in Everland. You headed out towards the ship, the citadel. It then continued moving west. So you figure move in the direction away from the citadel should take you back to Everland.
Right. I see something that way. Let's go.
Pick up Kale.
Okay. You pick him up. You begin making your way over. You spend the better part of about an hour or so
Did
walking.
Kale have any like dangly items that might fall off? Because Ali would be watching for that, like his book, and make sure that doesn't get lost.
Yeah, his book was in his backpack.
Okay.
So I think
I think everything's like tied onto him.
just maybe make sure you pick up the mace, unless you left the mace up in the citadel before it flew off. No, you'd have picked it up, right?
Yeah, we would have.
Yeah, okay. So, better part of about an hour traipsing through the dark before the terrain begins to shift. The ground feels softer. The mist begins to swirl a little bit. You feel almost like a bit of a breeze. And then that little speck of light becomes more visible to everyone else. You can see what looks like a little candlelight, but it's green, giving off this nice little soft hue. You get closer and notice it's in a window.
I am going to hide. Last time I saw a flame in a window, it didn't work out necessarily the nicest way, so I am going to kind of take 20 feet away from the party and kind of use the mist to my advantage.
Fair enough. Roll a stealth check.
That would be a 30.
Does anyone have a passive perception that allows them to see that 30?
No.
Ali's disappeared.
I'm okay.
Okay. So, you notice that the window then illuminates more of this building. You can see an outline of a small cottage that just seems to be sat in the way. You approach, the ground gets softer and softer, almost feels a little cool. You got a little bit of a breeze going through. It almost seems like you're not in the Shadowfell anymore, but it looks like you still are. And then the door to the cottage slowly opens, and it's got that little green hue inside. You can see the walls of Everland beyond it. You can see the wall that you had stepped over that you thought that might have had a drop next to it and so on. But no. It's right there, just on the other side of this house. But the house seems to be inviting.
Well, Brains, what do you say now?
Everland is right over there, but there's this house. And it looks just real nice.
Can I check to see if there's any traps, or if maybe I'm getting an uncanny feeling, like a danger sense that this is probably not good?
Guaranteed, you feel like nothing's good. Okay?
Oh, okay.
From simply the nature of being within the Shadowfell for this amount of time, you naturally start to feel like anything could happen. I mean, you are blind past 60 foot. Anything could be 65 foot away from you and just following you, and you have no idea.
Yeah.
So everything has that sense of danger upon it. But the house just looks and feels so much nicer, so much cooler, and safer.
So I'm sorry. Is Everland inside of the house, or
No,
is it
past
around
the house, behind
Okay.
the house? You can skip the house. You can ignore it completely, and go to the walls of Everland.
I'm going to be walking off towards Everland, unless somebody stops me.
Wampa move follow.
I'll look longingly at the house as we walk past it.
Okay. Then you walk past it. You'll come to the same break in the wall to the old city of Everland and step over it back into the city. As soon as you step in, a voice begins to just whisper on the wind. Almost a soothing voice, and you all feel comforted by its presence, almost like it's a very charismatic voice. It seems you're lost. Can I help?
Oh, for the love of gods, yes.
Yes, please.
What?
Where is it you would like to go?
We're here. We found. Why? What? We're not lost. We're right where we meant to be. Come on, guys. Brains.
I'd like to be on the material plane in Neverwinter, please.
Very well. I'm willing to send you to exactly where you need to go. But you'll need to do something for me.
And who you be?
Call me a friend. You may call me Oceanus.
And what would the nature be of that favor, per se?
Just take something with you. And as he says that, a small black orb appears at your feet, Ali.
What does it do?
Nothing. It is but a vestibule.
I do an insight check.
Sure. Roll an insight check.
God, I get some points in this. This would be a 27.
You get nothing. Like, yeah, you could be, yeah, fair enough. They might be telling the truth.
And the place you would be sending me and my companions would
Wherever you would like to go within the material plane.
be... And there would be no strings attached, no sending us back in time or anything of that sort.
You can specify the time and date and place.
So you have the power to do that?
I can send you where you need to go.
I look to the party and I pick up the orb.
Oh, okay.
You pick up the orb. Okay. Lesson number 1, folks, of Shadowfell. Don't pick stuff up. Okay, Ali?
Yep.
Just feels like a little black orb. As you pick it up, it almost shimmers within your hand. Feels like it hums just a little bit. Where would you like to go?
Okay, let's talk about this first before you say anything.
Yep. So we all kind of get together.
I don't mind Neverwinter since we have connections there. That's cool. Specify the date as well,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the thing apparently. Temple of Ogma. That way we'll just pop right into a place where people might actually know what this thing is, and they might know how to fix Kale.
And the day, should it be one day after we left?
Not even, like, if the same day would be great.
So like 2 minutes after we left?
Sure.
Oh, you mean 2 minutes after we left Neverwinter, or 2 minutes after we left Everland?
Evelyn, once we entered the Shadowfell. That way it doesn't counteract everything we did?
Clever girl.
We could also warn ourselves.
So are we in agreement?
Just get me out of here.
Spa day when we get back?
I have reservations. I have reservations. Like I said, I have an idea that could get us back. And it's possible that whatever is affecting Kale will go away by itself. And I really feel like we should have his input.
You talking about the banishment plan?
That it's, well, Kale getting better and potentially the banishment plan, which is Plan C. It's a plan that doesn't rely on the mysterious vessel being delivered.
So what be your plan to bring Kale back?
And I mean, theoretically, if this benefactor can send us any place in time, if it wanted us dead, we'd be dead.
Allie, there's always a price. Nothing be for free.
That's why we go straight to the people that actually know some stuff, and they can do what they want with it.
Well, can we have a day to think about it, mate? Mysterious voice on the wind.
No response from the mysterious voice on the wind.
I'll take that as a yes. He doesn't seem to be in any hurry. He's the master of time, so what's another day?
Exactly.
All right.
So what are you going to do then?
We're going to find that hovel that we were in before.
Oh, yeah, the hideout.
Okay. There we go. All right. Ali.
Yeah.
Wisdom save.
All right. That's not a save I'm good at. Can I use my inspiration?
Yeah. Have advantage.
Yeah. That would be an 18.
Okay. You cool. So you guys start searching through the city. You'll get back to the spot that you had found, the little bunker. Lower Kale's frail body into the bunker. There's food, there's supplies,
Careful.
there's water, just as you had left it.
All
Are
right.
you just going to rest there for the night?
Yeah. My plan is.
I'm going to cover up the orb, firstly, in like a cloth or something,
Okay.
just in case there's the off chance it attracts unwanted beings or visitors. I am
Fair
also going to double check the door, make sure it's sturdy, and then I will be resting.
Ali, as you place a cloth over the orb, a strange thing happens, and it's almost as if the cloth that goes over it goes translucent, as it seems the orb is making sure that you can see it at all times.
I am going to wrap my cloak. Is the cloth still? I can hold
Cloth
it?
is still there.
So if
Absolutely
I hold
still
over
there.
my hand, is my hand invisible behind it?
You can always
Okay.
see the orb,
Okay.
no matter where it is.
Okay.
So we see a regular cloth.
Cloth covered. Yep. Everything as normal.
Well, I can see the orb still. Weird. And I will tuck it in the backpack. Well, no, I'm not going to tuck it in the backpack. I will just continue to roll it.
Okay.
And
So
maybe
you guys
there was a
gonna
table,
take
right?
a rest here? What was that? Yeah, there's
I'm
table,
gonna
there's
set it on the-
chairs, there's.
Right. If we take a short rest, I can banish someone back to their home plane. Now, I have to concentrate on it for a full minute in order for it to be permanent. So, I can just concentrate on it for like 30 seconds and then bring whoever's there back to see where you end up. And if that is promising, then it'll take a while, but eventually we'll all be able to return, so long as I can banish myself at the end.
And on
Which-
the top of that, because we haven't performed services or received any benefit, technically we have not made a contract.
Who knows?
Okay, so if someone gets banished the first time, likes where they land, and they come back, are you sure that the next time you banish, they're going to end up in the same spot? Is that how that works?
Can I consider that via some sort of check?
Roll an Arcana check.
6.
It's as likely to be that case as it is any other.
Yeah, that might happen. I can do it twice if we're really concerned. We can banish you, bring it back, banish you, bring it back. It's very scientific of us.
Sounds like a solid plan.
I'll go on the record by saying I do not like this plan as much as I like the other one.
Well, we can also rest and just see if Kale, gets better.
I almost don't know if I want him to get better. He's just going to yell at me.
He can hear you. Probably.
I plug his ears.
Earmuffs.
Alright. So, what are you going to do? So you'll take a short rest minimum, because that's what you plan to do anyway.
Mhm.
At the end of a short rest, Kale, roll a Constitution saving throw. Maybe if you didn't
I know, I gotta stop throwing. It's 10 again.
10. Okay. Still paralyzed. Okay. But you all gain the benefits of a short rest. So if you have hit dice that you need to spend, go ahead and spend them.
Can I do that?
Nope.
I'll definitely
You're
be
having
doing
a wonderful dream because unfortunately you're completely aware of everything that's going on around you. You just can't interact with it. You can hear, you can see, you know what's going on.
So he can't even blink, correct?
Whole body is just paralyzed. He has no control over his body
So
anymore.
should we be like splashing water in his eyes occasionally, or his eyes open or closed?
Tilt his head back, eyes closed. He'll be fine. Right.
All right. So who are we banishing?
I say you.
Probably a safe choice. I am the most liable to get us in trouble.
So are you all right? Are you clear with the plan and the ramifications that might occur? Yeah. Are
You
you
have a
clear?
waiver for her to sign?
If I drop you in the middle of the ocean, it is not my fault.
Well, she's got wings, so it does actually make sense for her to be the. Because I don't know how the Z-axis works either.
So I get banished into the material plane, theoretically, and not the abyss or anywhere else,
Is it the material plane is your home plane, right?
as far as I know.
Okay.
And so you banish me back. I will find someone to help us
Well,
and find out if we're in a nice spot.
we're just bringing. We're just gonna let you get there and bring you back within about 30 seconds and see what happens.
30 seconds.
And then
Do you need any spell ingredients or anything like that I should buy while I'm there to help Kale?
I don't think you'll have much time.
Okay. Hit me with your best shot. And also keep your eyes on the crystal orb.
Oh, right. You seem to have a strange connection to that crystal.
Yeah, well, technically I haven't agreed to anything yet. So,
Right, but you can see it when the rest of us can't. I'm concerned that if I send you, I'll be sending that little orb with you.
in which case we all get back. Because as per our agreement. And then we just have to deal with solving that problem tomorrow.
All right, Al, you ready?
Ready.
Not much
Okay.
more can go worse.
How many
So.
d20s do I have to roll?
So you cast banishment.
Yeah.
Ali needs to roll a charisma saving throw.
Oh, I'm good at charisma.
You want to fail.
That would be a 19.
So that's a success, and the spell.
Wait, am I allowed to
You
automatically?
can't choose to fail unless the spell specifically states the person can choose to fail. Because there are spells that specifically state the person can choose to fail. So, it didn't work.
Ah,
Ellie, stop fighting it. I
I wasn't fighting it.
All right, I'm going to try it again.
All right, this was
Another charisma saving throw.
a 10 total. With my
With
plus
all
four-
of your bonuses.
with my +4 for charisma saving throws. It was a 6 + 4.
All right. So, you are then banished to the material plane. I need you to roll a d4, please.
That's a 1.
A 1. Okay. You find yourself feet in the water. The water is cold. You can hear the sound of a bell ringing, flags waving everywhere, and a huge red tower right next to you.
Do I recognize the tower?
Roll a history check.
That would be a 9.
Nope.
Are there people around?
30 seconds goes by. There are plenty of people around. Lots
I
of
want to
people.
quickly yell out, where am I currently? What is the name of this town?
People turn, look at you confused,
I only have like 30 seconds to hit.
and you're gone. Okay.
Allie!
So you're back in the shadow phase.
All right! You came back just like we played.
I did come back.
All right, how was it?
I was in a town. My feet were in the water. Are they still wet?
Yep.
Okay. I want to kind of shake it off and splash my companions. There was a red tower, and that's all I got. I asked people all around me where I was, and then poof.
So, we were told that in order to get the attention of the master, we would have to steal something and put it at the foot of a red tower. And that was going to be in Luskin.
Oh, then it works out. We'll just bring the surfboard there.
Were there lots of ships and whatnot? It looked like a harbor.
It could have been a harbor.
I might have been in a harbor. Is it salt water? I want to smell the water. I don't know if it's salt water or fresh water.
Yes, it's salty water.
Okay.
You definitely heard the sound of bells that you could equate to the common sound of a harbor. Yep.
Yeah, most definitely in a harbor.
And you would have all have noticed that the little black orb that Ali had did not go with her when you banished her. So that's good news. So what are you going to do now?
Well, I'd like to do it again, but unfortunately I can't until we rest again. We can take another short rest. We can do it again. Unless anyone else has anywhere else they'd like to be in the next hour.
No, this is the plan that you're going with, so let's see it through.
You still ain't said how you gonna bring back Kale.
Well, if we can get him back, if we can banish him, if the banishment idea works, we can figure that out when we get back to the material plane.
But we'll have to banish someone else with him, otherwise if he lands in the harbor, he'll drown.
Well, he won't go first.
Kale, you hear a voice. Just you. They're certainly taking their time, aren't they? And you can communicate telepathically with this being in response.
Yep, they sure are. They really, they're really. Lafcadio is not really supposed to be the brains of anything ever. Great guy, but just.
Okay. So if you guys are going to take another short rest to get those spell slots back, you all take another hour. It's getting pretty late. I mean, it's been a long day. Kale, you get to roll another Constitution save.
4.
Okay. All right. How many times have you failed this far?
I think that was the 4th time.
That's the 4th time. Yep. Okay. Cool.
Oh no.
All right. So at the end of the short rest, you feel that power back, Lafcadio. You can do it again.
All right, Allie. You ready?
So you're gonna send me again?
Yep.
Permanently?
Nope. Just to make sure you end up in the same place again.
Okay. Good to know. Do you want me to get... Is it always for 15 seconds?
Well, it'll be 30.
30? Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about anything. We just want to bring you back.
I will try not to be so personable that you can't send me.
Good thinking.
Okay. So, roll the charisma save, Ali.
That would be an 8 total.
An
4
8
plus
total.
4 plus
Okay.
4.
Roll me 2 d4s and tell me what both of those numbers are.
Okay. A 2 and a 2.
Okay. All right.
Oh, no.
You get moved, and it almost feels like you didn't go anywhere, as everything is just dark around you. Your eyes take a second to adjust, and you're in a spice shop.
A familiar spice shop?
A very familiar spice shop. Specifically, though, Ali, something very specific happens here, though. You can still see the orb downstairs.
Oh no, I'm stuck between two flames.
Okay?
Okay.
So, 30 seconds go by. You're back.
So, in those 30 seconds, was the spice guy there, the drow elf?
Yep. He looked at you, confused.
Can I quickly, tell him to go to the formerly haunted house that we were at and pull open the shade so there's an entryway so we can escape? Done. That's as fast as I'm saying it, too.
You disappear, and we'll see if anything happens.
It's good. That's good thinking.
Yeah, it was very good thinking.
Anything to get out of a deal.
So you get back to the Shadowfell.
Oh my god, please don't banish me again.
What happened?
Well, I can still see the orb this time. And I was in the spice shop, and I told our friend the drow elf, that sold us all these nice daggers and stuff, that he needs to go to the formerly haunted house, pull open the shades, and to save us. I don't know if it worked. He didn't say anything. He just kind of went.
Oh, yeah, I guess it would be a lot to take in. That was really quick thinking, though, on your part, so kudos. But we've also demonstrated that the banishment would not send us all to the same place. So that is probably not the ideal solution.
All right. So, I'm going to look Kale in the eyes. Kale, I'm going to make a deal with something or someone or something to get us all home so you don't die.
Allie, don't. But we might be able to see if that portal opened from you.
Oh, right. I had already forgotten about that. Let's quickly go over there.
So close. So close. I almost had her. That's okay. I'll get her later. So, you head out. You walk through the Shadowfell to where you believe the original portal was and where that house was, the broken down form. You can see the fireplace, and there's nothing there.
No!
The portal does not exist anymore.
Well, just wait. 'Cause it might take them a while to figure out how to get there or convince someone to let them in, and et cetera, et cetera. So let's just set up camp here.
Okay.
Okay.
Another couple minutes go by, still nothing.
Well, it's only been a few minutes.
You get close to an hour. Kale, roll another Constitution save.
I'm gonna roll a different die.
A different D20? Okay.
19!
19! Hey! You wake up wide awake, feeling,
The 4
feeling
levels of exhaustion.
extremely exhausted, with 4 levels of exhaustion.
So what does that mean again? Let me look.
So you have disadvantage on ability checks. Your speed has been halved. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, and your hit point maximum is also halved.
Okay. So he just kind of falls over finally.
I got him.
Sure. Gosh. Does anyone have? Boy, am I hungry right now.
Oh, we're not in the place, the well-stocked place. Here's some rations. Here.
Yeah. Some jerky.
Yeah, thanks. So your idea is not working out, huh?
Oh, you heard all that.
Yeah, well, ideas 1 and 2 didn't work out, but I'm sure we'll find something that works.
Mm-hmm.
Perception checks all around, please. Kale included.
5.
27.
Okay.
It's plus 9.
So 9 in total?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Allie.
Yeah.
You see something shiny. Not in the fireplace, however. The shiny is behind the party. You see a little speck that kind of just appears and then floats and disappears. Yeah, a little speck of light, almost.
A little speck of light. So it disappeared, though. So there's nothing left.
Nothing left.
Over there, behind us, there was a little speck of light for a moment. It vanished, but it was just right here. I want to go towards where it vanished.
Allie, stay here.
Okay.
There's danger out there. I mean, there's danger everywhere, but there's safety in numbers. Not really, but there's more safety when we're all together.
So what are you doing?
Okay. I still have the orb on me, correct?
Did you guys pick it up from the bunker?
I would have assumed Allie would have brought it with her. If she's
Then-
around.
Then yes, you do have the orb on you.
So before I go there, I would have out loud be like, if by any chance you don't send me to the material plane, I somehow get there with the orb, I want a boon. At a later date.
Who are you saying that to?
Just focusing really hard on whatever voice spoke to me beforehand.
Okay.
And that's settled. I am going to push Lefkada. Actually, I don't think I can push anyone except Kale because he's a limb.
Especially now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will stay put for a moment and see if the light comes back.
Okay. Doesn't. But the portal, after a little extra time, you guys can feel fairly confident that the portal you would use to get in is not going to reopen.
Let's see if I ever buy at his shop again.
So, what are you going to do, folks?
So should we make the deal?
Well, I've been trying all these things. They haven't worked. Kale, you have any ideas yourself?
Well, I wanted to try one thing real quick. Did he put did Lefkada put the thing, the haste, paralyze, screw me over big time thing back in my pouch, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So he'll undo the pouch a little bit and then just kind of like shake it to get the thing to drop on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then, do I have to do anything for this? Just vocal and somatic. He'll like wiggle his fingers over it and cast Dispel Magic on it at level 3.
Roll an Arcana check.
Sure. With disadvantage.
With disadvantage.
I rolled 2 8s. But I got a plus 14, so it's like 20 something.
Oh, you got a plus 14?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the red glow within the amulet sputters for a moment and then disappears. It is now a clear crystal.
Great.
So is it safe to touch now?
Sure,
It is
touch
safe to touch.
Yeah.
So, Kale, could you know how mages can see if something's magical and what it does?
Uh-huh.
What could you tell me about this orb? And am I dooming civilization if
Just put it right here. He'll like tap on the ground next to him. I'm imagining he's like slumped up against like a wall. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Allie sets it right there.
Alright, and then Kale's just gonna like munch on a ration and stare at it while he ritual casts Identify for 10 minutes.
Okay. Finishing up the identification. This is quite clearly a vessel. A being can be stored within this vessel through magical means. And they are perfectly preserved while they are inside the orb. You can't tell whether or not there is a being inside of it, or the nature of any being that is, if there is a being in there.
Yeah, you'll probably doom civilization if you bring us back to the material.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have power over space and time.
Yeah, that's a pretty grand claim.
Would that be a god?
I doubt it.
Demon?
Why don't we just use it as a ticket and then bring it to somebody who can send it back? You know, it doesn't have to be a problem.
Unless we get jumped the minute we go and get placed in, have it stolen from us.
Leprecadio, see if Nabanian will let you banish this.
The orb.
But then we don't have a way back.
Was the orb taking us back? We could still banish our way back to the material plane.
Is it permanent?
Well, if we banish ourselves back to the material plane, we've already deduced that we will not end up in the same locations.
Then should we agree that we all meet up back in Neverwinter?
We can all teleport.
Oh yeah.
We have got those rings, right? So it shouldn't be too hard to find some harpers maybe that could help us out wherever we wind up. And what were the two places Allie wound up? You were in Everland
I
and
went to
Luskin.
Edelland and Luskin.
Not that far apart, really.
This is going to be like
all given the teleportation sigils to each of those locations on a little piece of paper. So all you really need is someone capable of casting the teleportation circle spell, and they can take you where you need to go.
And I can communicate with each of you through sending. So
this is, you guys realize this is splitting the party to the extreme.
Yep. If I get, I know it's not a attractive prospect, but if I get a long rest in, I can prepare the banishment prayer myself. I can send two people at the same time, increasing their chance that they'll both go to the same place. I assume.
Given that there's 5 of us, then one person is going to end up stuck in the shadow hell, correct? Alone?
He can banish someone. He can banish himself.
Yeah, I can banish 3 people individually and then 2 at the same time.
Okay.
So, first I would like to. So, what was the nature of this deal you wanted to make, as you understand it?
What was the name on him again? Oceanus?
Oceanus.
Oceans.
Well, this voice called Oceanus kind of popped out of nowhere and offered me a deal that they would teleport me wherever I wanted to in space or time, as long as I brought this to the material plane. And
So-
I don't know the name, and I don't know who would be powerful enough to do that. And you were paralyzed?
Mhm. Does Oceanus mean anything to me, DM?
Roll a history or religion check.
I'm going to go ahead and go with history. That would be 23.
Okay. So not only is Oceanus a fairly common name, it is a river that splits the upper planes of the Great Wheel cosmology. That's as much as you know. It's definitely not this individual's real name.
Okay. Got it. So the deal was that you just had to take the orb, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we cast banishment on this orb, which I'm pretty sure houses or potentially houses something not good, and it banishes the spirit, you can still take the orb.
That is fair.
All right. So the target of my spell normally has to be a creature. We can try on the vessel, but if the vessel is empty, perhaps it's meant to trap something on the material plane.
Perhaps.
I just don't like making deals with strange voices. I mean, I'm already in for one of those. I'm just relatively sure who he
Is
is.
this news?
That's Nabanian.
Oh,
Can one of ye magic types conjure one that looks like this?
Conjure like an orb?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you can cast the fabricate spell. No.
Yet another situation in which being a wizard would have helped tremendously.
if only we had a wizard.
Give me a minute.
Okay.
Kale will say as he fishes out. He opens up the bag of holding and calls up specific items. He calls up some incense and I don't know, a scroll that's worth 25 gold pieces. And he lights the incense and sets the scroll on top of his book, and the incense goes over the scroll and it disappears so that he can cast divination. As a ritual.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second time this day you are casting divination.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a long day. Oosh. So, yeah, I don't know.
Just so that you're aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second time this day you're using divination.
Yep.
Did we?
Pretty sure.
Didn't we have like a long rest after the angel, and then going into the tower?
I believe you cast divination when you woke up. You asked what is the best course of action here.
Right, yeah, I asked what to do about the thing, and then we didn't do that. So, I will cast it again, knowing full well that there's a chance it might not work, and ask, do we have to make a deal with any sort of entity to get out of the Shadowfell relatively quickly?
Any sort of entity?
Yep.
I'm gonna stack that. Is this orb gonna bite us in the ass? To the plane? Just done.
No. You do not need to make any new deals with any entities.
Okay. Cool. And then you guys can debate amongst yourselves. I've been told that we don't need to make a deal with anybody. There's other ways to get out of here in an expedited fashion. Well, expedited might not be the wrong word, but I said relatively quickly. So.
You said any new deals, correct?
Correct.
Which implies we already have a deal.
It's an implication, yeah. But you guys think about that while I get my crystals out and try and cast Augury again. Does that do the same thing? Never mind, I'm not going to do that. The 25% miss chance.
Would it be easier if you just slept and then we cast it in a day?
Everything would be so much easier if I slept.
All right. So should we head back to that defensible cellar?
Most definitely.
Okay. As you begin to make your way over to the defensible cellar, you're passing by a bunch of ruins, and the place looks a little bit different than it was just a couple hours ago when you last walked through it. The Two of the houses look a little bit taller. The ground in between them, the path you've taken a bunch of times now, seems a little bit narrower as the landscape has changed, and creatures begin to swirl out of the darkness to pounce. Were you guys acting stealthily? I don't think you really were.
And I have my hood up, but I wouldn't say I was sneaking.
Yeah, I don't think I specified that we walking stupid.
Then I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
But we're not surprised, though.
You're not surprised. You can't be surprised. That's fine. As 5 creatures appear. 3 ahead of you and 2 on elevated positions above.
Pretty good, pretty good.
I had a nice initiative this time.
My house would be plus 30. Has it been more than 8 hours since we began this day?
Yes, it's very late in the day.
Awesome. I got an 18 for my initiative.
Okay.
I got a
All right.
23.
I forgot to highlight my
That's okay.
icon. I got 25.
So 25 for Wampum. Always on top, Wampum. Oh, come on, roll 20. Play nice. 25. All right, the houses, the buildings near you are... Who am I missing still? I'm still missing Alec.
I have 23.
23, okay. The buildings near you are 30 foot high, whereupon these creatures are floating above. Well, not floating above, but on. Ali, why hasn't that added a turn for you? There we go. So 23, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. And I shall roll initiative for these creatures. Come on.
Come on.
Just do it manually. This is taking forever. Okay. So I got a 17 for those. And okay. What do these creatures have for a dex mod? There we go. All right, so +3. All right. Kale, was your initiative at disadvantage?
It sure was. I rolled a 14 and a 15, and I have a +3. So actually, it's 17. My bad.
Okay. So it's a 17. All right, doesn't make too much difference for you. Okay. Top of the round, as these creatures begin to coalesce and appear, the landscape almost changing in front of you. Wampum, what do you do?
Going to put myself in between them and everybody else, and I'm going to attack this one right here.
Okay.
And it's going to be a 22 to hit
That will hit.
for 13 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to second attack. And I am going to use, if I hit, I'm also going to use a distracting strike.
Okay.
So a 19 to hit.
Again, another solid hit.
For 20 points of damage.
Okay.
And with another 6 points on top of that.
Okay.
And the next person who strikes that individual has advantage. And I'm done.
All right. As the hammer connects, the form of the creature in front of you breaks. It drops to the floor and disappears. You killed it.
Ain't that tough?
Nope. Anything else from you, Wampum?
I'm staying right where I'm at.
Okay. Ali, you're up next.
All right. I am going to run up. Let's see. 25? Oh, oops, I did not mean to do that. I will just go like this. and the distance between me and the guy up there is 25 feet, correct?
Yes. Even though he's elevated quite high.
All right, so would that put me at disadvantage for crossbow attacks?
No, it would put you at 30 foot. Just gives
Okay.
you a little extra distance.
All right, so crossbow attack him, and I have advantage on the attack because he has not made a move in this round of combat.
Correct?
And that would be a 14 plus 8, so 24.
That'll hit.
And it's an automatic crit plus sneak attack, right?
No, it's not an
No, it's
automatic
just
crit.
automatic.
You just get to add your sneak attack. For it to be an automatic crit, you have to have a surprised creature.
Okay.
Okay.
Even with the assassinate? Oh, yeah, because it's not surprised. All right,
So, how much damage are you dealing?
that's 5d6. Sneak attack. 12, 15, 17, 21, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.
28. Okay. Powerful hit.
Yep, and then second crossbow shot is going to get fired at him again.
All right, go ahead.
All right, do I also get advantage on this as well?
You still have advantage.
That would be a natural 20.
I believe you. I trust you. I can't see on the mic, on the camera.
Oh, yeah. So that's just the 1d6, correct?
So it'd be
you-
2d6.
You already used
Yeah.
your
Sneak attack,
so you can't use it on this. So it's just the attack is doubled.
All right, that's 8 damage.
All right. The creature begins to flicker from view, but it is still. Welcome back, guys. Oh, that was quite the trip. Unfortunately, technical problems. There was a power outage, and we lost the stream. But we're back. We love you all. Thanks for your patience. All right, we're now still in the thick of things. It is now Lafcardio's turn in combat. Lafcardio, what would you like to do?
So, when Wampum fell that first fella, you described him as vanishing. Is that
Didn't vanish. His body just fell apart and fell to the floor.
okay? So I don't see anything off with how he met his demise. Is that right?
No.
Right. And what do the fellas that are elevated? What do they look like?
Well, one of them has 2 crossbow bolts in him.
Yeah. This fellow looks very much like he's made out of shadow and dark cloth, more or less. Just a dark form against the formless sky behind.
All right. Well, then I will move 30 feet off to the left,
Okay.
and then I will cast a Sacred Flame at that fella.
Okay. The one to the left
Oh, the one
or
that
the one to
Ellie
the right?
is using as
The
a
one
pincushion.
yep. Okay. So dexterity saving throw from that creature. Which it rolls a 20. What is the... I
18.
believe that succeeds.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Well, it is now those creatures' turns. That one will move, float ever so slightly just off the edge of the building that's there, lordly, standing above everyone. It opens up its arms, and you all hear just a cascade of babble, just nonsense, just constantly berating and attacking each creature within 30 feet of the Alep at this point in time, which is everyone, needs to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Well, I moved the wrong way.
Ooh.
3.
21.
23.
Wampum got a 8.
Sure.
I got an 11, but I'm going to use my saving face to make that a 14.
Okay. So, 14 and up succeeds. So, Lafcadio fails. Wampum fails. Nos succeeds. And Ali, you succeed, right? I believe. Yep. Okay. So, on a failure, you take a whopping great big 15 points of psychic damage, and you are stunned until the end of your next turn. On a successful save, you take half as much damage and are not stunned. So you take, what was that? It was 15, so 7 points of psychic damage and are not stunned. So Nos and Ali are the only ones not currently stunned. The other Alep...
And Kale.
And Kale, did you succeed?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And am I able to reduce that 7 by half with Uncanny Dodge?
No, because Uncanny Dodge
Okay.
requires you to make a dex save.
When an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to half it. You're thinking evasion, which is the dex saving throw.
Right. Well, this wasn't an attack.
Oh, okay.
An attack requires an attack roll.
Okay.
Okay, so the other Alep, however, is going to fly 40 foot, which will put him there. Since Wampum is stunned, he will approach Wampum. Now, from this position, yep.
Can I?
Yes, you can.
Can I do the thing?
Yes, you can do the thing. Do the thing you like to do.
Yay! My hit. 19.
19, that is going to hit.
11 slashing.
Okay. It hurts the creature. Your weapon is magical, right?
You got it. Yep.
Okay. All right. There's nothing else you can do to that damage dice? Nope. Okay. So, Wampum, because you are stunned, attack rolls against you have advantage. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. So he is going to strike out at you with a maddening touch for his attack. Ooh, that is a crit.
Ooh.
Yep. So that will be 33 points of psychic damage. Wampum.
Okay.
Okay. Then it ends its turn. Kale, you were not stunned, as you said.
Yep. Kale is going to cast Aid at what level do I want to do this at? Oh boy. 4th level. This final 4th level slap. He casts Aid on himself and Lafcadio, and Wampum probably still has a ton of hit points, right? I guess I don't know, Ellie. So each of those people I just named get 15 hit points, and their max goes up by 15. And then Kale is going to fucking, I don't know, move. We go, is this over there behind a rock?
Okay. Anything else from you?
Yep.
All right. And we have the other undead creatures. One is going to run right up to Wampum and attack him. With this attack, he shall claw at Wampum. That is a 21 to hit Wampum.
That's exactly what you need.
Okay. Actually, since you're stunned, it would be a 22. But anyways. All right. So I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw. As you take
17.
17. So you succeed on the con save. You take 10 points of slashing damage. That'll be it for him. The other one will then approach you and do the same thing. 20 to hit.
That misses.
20 misses you?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Then we move to Nos.
I cannot overestimate how much I hate this place. And I will go into a rage.
Good.
I'm gonna slip in
Nothing. Yep. Go ahead. No.
slip in to cover his side here. And I'm gonna start laying into the ghouls,
Okay.
if that is what they are.
The things with long tongues.
Ooh.
That's a critical.
That is a natural 20. Go ahead and just decimate that creature.
You got it.
So 18 points of damage. That seriously hurts.
On top
Plus
of
the
the 8.
Divine Fury.
Yep. Still up.
It is just still up.
Okay. Hey, another nat 20.
What the heck?
It's going down
Making
now.
up for lost time.
Yeah.
Now it's going down. That ghast drops. Its tongue just flails wildly as the body twitches on the floor.
Cool. And I will. Can I poke the other undead guy over Wampum?
Your reach is 10 foot. If
Mhm.
you've got the extra attack, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Then I will action surge and try to get rid of this other one.
Okay.
16.
The 16 will hit.
It's 18 points of damage.
Just as good as your crits. Anything else?
Another one, and then that's 23 to hit.
Also another hit.
That's 15 slashing.
That's a almost dead ghast.
Dang it! Okay.
Okay. Wampum, you end your turn no longer stunned.
Okay.
Ali.
All right. I am going to go right on top of that dead ghast,
Okay.
draw my dagger, and stab the ghast that just got stabbed.
Okay.
And that would be a 10.
A 10 total.
I think so. Oh, no, 14, sorry.
Okay. 14 will hit.
And there's 1, 2, 4, plus 5. That would be 5 damage.
You cut that thing down from top to bottom.
Perfect. And then I'm going to spin around with my crossbow and fire it at the guy that already is a pincushion.
Okay.
That's a natural 1. I probably do not hit.
No, that's going to miss.
I tried to look cool, cloak on the way.
Okay. Anything else from you?
Let's see, I moved. Yeah, I'm going to go 5, 10, 15 away.
Okay. Lafcadio, you end your turn no longer stunned. The Alip north of you needs to see if his howl recharges. And it does. And so it's going to float itself to this position to then still be within 30 feet of everyone when it does another howl. So, what was it again? A wisdom save from everyone.
10.
15.
15.
19 plus 2.
Okay, so Lafcadio is the only one that failed, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, so then Lafcadio takes the full force of 12 points of psychic damage and is stunned. Everyone else takes half at 6. And then the other Alep is... it's in that position. Probably not a good idea to attack physically. So instead he's going to use his Whispers of Madness ability. He chooses up to 3 creatures he can see within 30 feet of him, which he will pick Wampum, Nos, and Ali. Each of them need to make wisdom saves, please. Wampum, Nos, and Ali.
But I just used my good one. 10.
Oh, another 21. What's 3 19s? Time to switch out.
Wampum got an 18.
An 18 from you, Wampum?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So, on a success, nothing happens to you. So, Wampum, and what did you get, Ali?
I had a 21 total.
21 total. So, okay, so you two succeed, nothing happens to you. Nos, unfortunately, you take a bit of psychic damage, specifically 11 points of psychic damage, and must immediately use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against Wampum.
Aw. Okay. That doesn't hit. It's a 20.
Woo!
Okay. All right, then that is the end of the Alep's turn. Kale.
I will. Gosh. I got nothing because you guys are all in there, all mixed up together. Ah.
I could help you.
I want to. Who got stunned? Just Lafcadio?
Just Lafcadio again.
Okay, and the only one to fail that other thing was Nos.
Yep.
Okay. So they're like fine. I don't know. I'll hope that these get. I will apologize in advance to Nos and not Wampum. Screw him. He's being a jerk. And I'm gonna cast Dawn right on top of them to get these
Dawn.
2 Aleps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dawn's a pretty big spell, isn't it?
It's a 30-foot radius. I will do whatever it takes to not hit myself with it.
Okay, so you'll get everyone else then, except you and Lafcadio. If you aim the other way, you'll get everyone except.
Let's see, 30, 30, and 30. So if I put it, okay, I'll put it to show to others. So if I put it down here, it will not reach Ali.
Okay, fair enough.
That is what I will do. They have to. What was it again? They have to make a Constitution saving throw. Everybody that's in it.
Everyone inside. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the spell save DC on that?
17.
Okay.
I'm good.
Both Aleps fail.
Good. They're gonna get hurt as soon as I find another D10 because I need a lot of them.
Wampum rolled a 15, but I'm going to use my Indomitable. No, that's even worse. 11.
Shit. Well, I did 16 plus 14. That's 30. 30 radiant damage.
Okay. That is one dead Alep. Dead Aleps. Wampum, you still up?
I got 9 points left.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
fine.
as the last of the Aleps falls, we're no longer in combat.
Yay!
Real quick, if you succeed the save, do you take half damage from that?
Oh yeah, you still do.
Yeah.
I bet.
So, Nos, you would take half.
15.
15. Okay. Anything else?
Wampum will go ahead and use his second wind.
Okay.
I'll say everybody, just hold on. Just hold on for like 10 minutes. I'm sorry I had to hit you guys, but I didn't. We gotta get going. I can't stick around here for too long. But give me 10 minutes. Gather around. I'll heal you up, and we'll keep going. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and prayer of healing at 3rd level. So it's 3d8. 1 dose. Choice. That's 14, 21, plus 5, 26 health for everybody.
Nice. Okay. So, with that, as you take a moment to take a breather, relax, are you going to continue moving towards the bunker?
If we can, yeah.
Okay. You make it back to the bunker. Thankfully, as you begin to make it, though, you do start to hear, again, the sounds of danger on the horizon, howls of not just the wind, but also various forms of canine creatures. You break through the front entrance to the bunker, though this time something has changed. Stepping through the front door, you know that you have steps that go downstairs into the actual bunker itself. As you drop down the stairs, on the wall opposite the staircase is a new door that wasn't there previously.
Great.
Something new that wasn't there before.
Okay.
The new door looks green on in comparison to the darkness of this space. And those with keen senses swear they hear the sound of birds chirping from beyond the doorway.
So it just looks like a regular door?
Looks like a regular wooden door.
Wooden door.
But it's green.
It's green.
Maybe it goes back to the Feywild.
That's not supposed to be how that works at all.
Want me to check it out?
I mean, can I, before anybody opens it, can I maybe go up and just investigate around the edges of it, or I don't know, do some sort of dice rolling check to?
Yeah, Arcana.
Sure. Good choice.
What if our drow friend has come up with some alternative solution?
Maybe.
We'd always have to shop at his shop.
I rolled a 1, so that's a 15.
Okay. With your 15, definitely a magical door.
Sure.
As you actually look up about it, you notice that the door isn't actually flush with the wall. You can actually see the gap behind.
Maybe it's the people that were going to be using this bunker.
Maybe.
Isn't that circle that alley be carrying also green?
No, it's black.
Okay.
I want to poke the door with my mace.
And it's fine.
It's a real door?
Yeah, it's a real door. Do you push the door open?
No.
Okay. Because it's a pull.
That's... Yeah, I don't have the strength for that. All right.
Should we open it?
Nos, since you offered, go for it.
Yep.
I'll go with her.
What are you doing?
I'm pulling the door open. I'm gonna stand kind of behind it.
Okay.
As well as I can.
Very tentatively, you pull the door open, holding your hand on it, and you pull it aside. As you open, everyone else who's actually able to see into the doorway sees an open passageway to a luscious green field with tall trees. The wind is blowing them. You can see the sun shining through. A deer hops, looks into the doorway, and then hops out, like off to the distance.
Like it came through the door?
No, it looked at the doorway and then hopped away.
I want to pick up. Is there any like debris on the ground, like a pebble or something?
Mm-hmm.
Chuck it through the door.
And it goes through the door, hits the ground. It's soft green grass. Just kind of rolls a little bit ahead of you.
Can I go?
Oh boy. Sure.
All right. First, we're gonna.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say first. I stick the glaive in there.
Okay.
Head first.
Poking the glaive in. Everything seems fine.
Swirl it around a little.
Dangerous. Yep. Looks good. You follow the glaive.
1 foot first, so that my knee is sticking into the other place, but most of me is still out.
Okay.
Like.
Everything feels okay.
So far, so good.
Yep.
All right.
You step on through.
Do you want to hold the rope?
We will take a 15-minute break. Thank you very much for sticking with us so far. We'll rejoin in 15 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Like it. Welcome back after the break. Thank you for sticking with us. So, Nos just stepped through the green door. Stepping into the plane beyond, everything seems fine. Everything's quite cool. You actually feel so much cheerier and better. You're in a forest. In a normal forest, not a magical forest. It all looks mundane, normal. You can see the sky. Everything looks clear. Behind you, there is just an open doorway in the middle of nowhere. But to you, it looks like a gate, as in the gate spell.
So can I see them through it still?
You can still see them through it.
I'll just turn around and be like,
Wampum immediately follows her.
Allie sets the orb on the table away from the gate and goes through.
Okay. So you leave the orb in the Shadowfell. Okay. Is anyone not stepping through the gate?
If everyone else is doing it, I mean, I want to be included.
Peer pressure, peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
Your brush.
Okay.
I was looking for Kale. It's like,
All right. Then, with a distant scream of, "Ooh, I'll get you next time," you step out of the Shadowfell, and the door closes behind you of its own accord, and just fades away. Behind it, you see a lion stood proudly behind the door. And it just roars out loud at you. I need all of you to make wisdom saving throws. Except for Lafcadio.
11.
18.
Okay.
I also got 11.
All right.
Wampum got a 21.
All right. So, Nos and Kale, instinctively, you are frightened for a minute of this lion. No one else is. Lafcadio, you feel somewhat of a familiarity with this beast as it stares directly at you.
I cower immediately behind Lafcadio.
Me too.
whoa there, big fella. We mean you no harm.
Telepathically, you and everyone else hears, It is good that you took the hint. Welcome back to the material plane.
Hint?
You were lost for a time. Things are getting worse. You need to pick up the pace.
Do I get the sense that the lion is talking to me?
The lion is talking to you.
You're a real straight shooter.
Yes. Your companions are the key to saving the material plane. And they need your help to do so. The world is breaking. Elemental chaos is coming back. The elemental planes are mixing in ways that they shouldn't. And an unforeseeable entity that I cannot view is controlling all of this for some profane ritual. You need to find a way into each of the elemental planes. Do as you have done this time, though a little more delicately. Destroy the crystals found on each plane, and then you'll have a hope of stopping the ritual.
Yeah,
Do this for me, Lafcadio.
These guys are quite good, right?
Yes, they are. You are the only hope this world has. If you fail, the world fails.
And he's still talking to everyone, or is it just Lafcadio?
Everyone. So you can all hear what he's saying. He then starts to walk and lead you away through the forest that's around him.
I can't go toward him.
You go toward him?
I can't. I'm afraid of him. Or is
Well,
that
it's only
in a minute?
only for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And as he starts walking away, you can follow. You just wait a moment before you get closer to him.
Okay. And when he was, did we get a sense of if he was addressing any one person in particular, or was he talking to
He's
Lafcadio and we could just hear him?
clearly talking to Lafcadio.
Okay, so Lafcadio is the chosen one? Okay, cool.
He is a lion.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Mate, I think this fella was sent by Nabanian to help us out.
Of course you would think that. I guess I'm inclined to agree. This seems real enough.
He continues to lead you through unless you have any additional qualms or issues or problems. The
Mate.
forest isn't very big.
Slow up, mate. Where are we? And where are we going?
You will see in but a moment, child. He steps through, and almost at that exact point, you break out of the forest. You can see a village laid out in front of you. It's a small town, not very big. It's got a church, a stable, and a warehouse, and that's pretty much it. A tree in the middle of the road, that kind of small location. But what draws your attention is the enormous castle floating freely above this city.
Well,
A
that's
castle
new.
that has been noticed quite regularly over the span of the last 20 years or so.
Like a cloud castle?
It is a floating moat of rock. Doesn't look like a cloud castle because cloud castles are typically floating on cloud rather than floating on rock. As you step out, the lion creature lets you know we are at Weathercoat Forest. That city is Parnast. and some old heroes have come to give you a ride.
Oh, okay. Sounds great. What old heroes?
They went by the name Twilight's Errand in days gone by.
I like to do it. Does that ring any bells?
Roll a history check.
Oh boy, I really need to get a long rest, so I stopped having disappointments. 15.
Okay. If you would like to research all about Twilight's Errand, check out Season 1 of Crituitous RP. It is a group of adventurers that worked with a large set of organizations to quell the giant threat that happened close to 20-something years ago.
Okay, great. Sounds legit. How do we go from here to there?
I often find prayer can answer all those questions.
I pray that you'll tell me how to get from here to up
The
there.
lion could face paw. You will find a shrine in Parnast. Go visit it.
So the fellas up there are expecting us?
They're expecting someone. They don't know who to expect.
And do you have a name?
None that you need to know. I have been called by many names in the past.
Aslan.
Actually, I have, yes. I don't know if this is accurate. Please, someone let me know if this is accurate, but Forgotten Realms Wiki does seem to say that Nabanyan was once called Aslan at some point. If someone knows the history of the Forgotten Realms well enough, let me know if that's actually true or someone just messing with me. This avatar that presents itself to you is but a vessel. Now, I need a moment alone with my servant.
Of course.
Take your time.
I'll start walking toward towards Parnast.
Mm-hmm.
The city is fairly quaint, and it's morning when you arrive, which is even worse because you haven't even had your long rest yet, and the sun is out, which is annoying. But Lafcadio, do you stick behind?
Yeah.
Yeah, having been summoned. You need to travel. You need to be quicker. There are ways in which people can move from place to place in an expedient manner. And your natural pace is proving to be inadequate. I propose a challenge or a calling for you, my child. Twilight's Errand have a friend who has an item that will help you travel to each of the 4 planes. Convince him to give you what you need.
Do you know what this fella likes?
It's hard to say what he likes. Most people struggle to understand it. I personally don't know. I think Casey might, but I personally don't know what he likes. He likes power, immortality.
Who wouldn't?
Goodbye, my servant. And he turns around and just starts walking back into the forest, unless you have any particular reason why he would need to stay. Would you have any questions for your patron?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Then he will step into the forest, and it almost looks like the trees shift and bend to hide his path as his footsteps start to die down and he disappears from view. You then rejoin your party as they're heading down to the village of Parnest. It is, as I said, a quaint little place, but it is overshadowed by the giant castle in the sky above it. What are you going to do when you guys arrive into the village? The village is small, and you only have a few locations that are important there. As I said, shrine, tavern, a warehouse. That's about it. But what are you going to do?
I'll mention the last bit of information that I received from the avatar of Nabanyan, and I'll say that the fellows that run that castle up there, they apparently have a device that'll let us go directly from here to the other elemental planes, so we don't have to go around collecting things to travel there.
So do we rest here or do we rest up there?
I say we see what it takes to get up there. Is like if there's like a ferry or something, we might have to wait. Although I could just make us fly again. But he said to go to the shrine, so I'm inclined to do that first.
Sounds reasonable. Did you have a nice talk? It mustn't be every day you get to talk to someone who grants you power.
You sure don't. I wasn't expecting that when we came back.
So you must be really important because he rescued you.
He seems to think that we as a group, the only thing standing in the way of the destruction of the world. I think you heard that part, so yeah.
That's not terrifying. It is, I'm lying.
Sounds like he should hedge his bets.
All right, let's check out this shrine.
Yeah.
I need to stop for refreshment first.
Okay. Then as you step into the village of Parnas, there is a large village that's, sorry, not village, tavern that's just off to the side. It's called the Swinging Flagon, and it has a sign out the front that looks shaped just like a mug of ale that just swings freely.
Dat me place. Dat me place.
Mm-hmm. Stepping inside, music immediately starts. There's a fanfare going on. You've got 3 different bards all positioned on a little stand playing music for everyone in the tavern. It is early in the morning, but people are already in here for the day. You have just to the side of the stage is a bar with 3 different wenches on it and tables littered all around this large 50-foot wide square room. Plenty of spaces, both on the bar and at tables, and there's a couple individuals just walking from table to table taking orders and helping and talk to people.
I'm gonna walk up to the bar. I need 3 mugs.
Only 3?
3.
Okay, and what should I put in those mugs, good sir?
Wouldn't happen to have any of my Thunderbelly ale, would you?
Considering how far southeast Parnast is of the world, would Thunderbelly Ale have reached this far, Wampum?
Southeast? Possibly.
Okay. I mean, literally, Luskin,
Okay.
Parnast.
Oh, then no, it would not reach there.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm afraid not. But we've got plenty to put hair on your chin.
I need 3 of them.
Okay.
One for the past, one for the future, and one that we're about to get into.
You sound like a fascinating individual. There we go. 3 mugs of ale ready to go. She pours them out. It'll be 15 copper pieces.
I'll give her 2 silver
Okay. Thank you.
and down them as quick as I can.
All right.
While you're stocking up, I'm also going to stock up 2 full bottles of whiskey, 2 full bottles of rum.
While
I'm
they're getting
out.
liquored up, I am going to gossip with the wenches.
Okay. 45 gold in total to get 2 bottles of rum and 2 bottles of whiskey.
Can I get you guys to just, I've already got containers. Maybe you can...
Give us the containers, we'll give you a discount.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you give over your containers, they'll give you their bottles. Fair enough. Cuts it down to 25.
Perfect.
So you're going to flirt with the wench.
Well, I'm going to ask her about the heroes that live up in the floating city.
She looks you up and down. What does a creature like you want to know about heroes?
I want to give my most award-winning smile. Thing does it is just say, well, I'm currently in an adventuring party of myself, and we recently rescued some children from the Feywild, and I have just always been so motivated by the bard's tales of heroes.
Roll a persuasion check.
Natural 20.
Okay. They come from time to time. They have been staying in the south quite a bit late. A group of people. The castle's been a Baparnest for about 3 months now.
Wow. And do you know their names? Surely such heroes their names would be sung in all the bard's tales.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who's actually living on Skyreach Castle right now that they would know of. They would know of Gamel, a master smith dwarf. You would have Eren, the finest hunter the Sword Coast has seen.
Danric?
Tough. Danric would be there, yep. Danric trained these bards, in fact. Greatest bard you'll ever see. But be careful, because you're as likely to lose your pocket as you are your evening with him. I can't remember her name. Osrin. I created the character. Why couldn't I remember Osrin? I created her. And Osrin, Mistress of the Hunt.
Wow, such heroic names.
Mm-hmm.
And you said they've only been there a little bit. My friends and I have been invited to go up there to meet with them in a mission of utmost importance.
Well, you best get going. What are you doing sticking around here for? Go.
She points to the dwarf.
What?
Fair enough.
Thank you for your time.
They don't often come down.
Well, I hope that we meet with them soon, and thank you for your information. I'll give her 3 silver.
Okay. Cool. Anything else you guys are going to do in the tavern, or are you going to go over to the shrine?
I didn't go. I went to the shrine.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold out my personal mug and say, fill this up, please.
And the other 3?
Just this one for now.
Okay. So she'll pour out one for you in that mug. There you go.
Here's to you, lady.
Cheers.
and I'm gonna take me and my mug to the shrine.
Okay, fair enough.
I will
Everyone,
follow
make,
them.
yep.
Yep.
Everyone
I'll
makes
follow.
their way over to the shrine. Now, the shrine in Parnast is actually just a warehouse that's been repurposed. It's about a 40-foot tall building, 70-foot wide, huge set of barn double doors that have just been widened and opened up, permanently opened, for everyone to be able to see the shrine inside. Flowers and decorations are placed all over the place, and you see 3 shrines all positioned inside the temple. And to the casual observer, even the most casual of religious individuals, so definitely Kale would recognize, you would notice Miliki, Tyr, and Torm. These 3 shrines placed inside this warehouse. At their feet are little bowls with various different pieces of offerings all over them. Each of them are turned ever so slightly to look inward towards a central position where you can see a circle has been placed on the ground, a disc that people you watch as someone will come up, kneel on it, and begin to pray, and then step off. Everything has a very somber tone in here, reverent tone compared to the tavern.
I assume there's like a line to get into.
There are a couple people waiting, but not like as a line, but more like you can tell that people are off to the side of the building, just waiting till there's a moment where it's quiet. When one person gets up, you'll see a couple people kind of shrug forward, and then only one of them actually takes the step to the central position.
Okay. I'll wait my turn and then go and do the same thing they're doing.
Okay.
Pray
You
it
offer
up.
prayers at the shrine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Roll a perception check while you're knelt down.
Sure. 13.
Okay. Right. It's the shrines themselves are covered in dust. They're not well cleaned and maintained. There's plenty of dirt that kind of gets into the grooves of the actual base of the statues, but they do definitely seem like there is information, whether it's carving or pictures and whatnot, that are just obscured on the shrines themselves. As you look down at the floor, you notice there are similar such carvings on the central position that you're sat on.
Okay. I guess after offering my prayers, just generic stuff, I'll get up and inspect the shrines, the dirty shrines.
Yeah. So scrubbing away some of the dirt, roll an investigation check.
I'm gonna guidance this stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
I rolled a 20 and a 2, but I was doing investigation. You said
Investigation. So it's the total. At
So it's
disadvantage.
I think that's one of my things, right? Yup. So 18.
Even with disadvantage, it's a total of 18. You have a
2
plus 16.
I have plus 14, and I rolled 2 on the guidance.
Okay. Oh, fair enough. Yeah. All right. Then you would notice that as you scrub these across, there are arcane carvings on the base of each of these statues that do not represent the teachings of Miliki, Tyr, and Torm. These arcane markings, in fact, look like an inscription written in... What languages do you speak? Let me actually see if you recognize.
Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, Elvish, Goblin, Orc, Primordial, and Sylvan.
You don't recognize the language that these are written in.
That's some shit. Oh, how is my gnomish coming along, by the way?
Your gnomish is doing pretty well if you would spend some time studying it
I'm gonna
and
plenty of
practicing
time.
it.
Hopefully, once I get into this castle, I can just chill for a minute. Get rid of all these levels of exhaustion I stacked up. I don't have any things I can't read any of this crap.
Kale, what you looking at? What'd you find over there?
There's arcane sigils written in a language I don't understand, and someone apparently has defaced these shrines, which probably isn't cool. You want to come look at it?
Sure.
What languages do you speak, Lafcadio?
Common and celestial.
Then you understand what's written on here. As it is in Celestial.
Oh, right. That means...
Okay. It means take the position, pray before the gods, reveal your true intentions, and reach the final state.
Reach the final state. That sounds weird, but well.
Well, I guess I'll go first. Allie drops coin, goes to the center, kneels. I want to save the world and get paid for it.
The other people in the shrine look at you confused. What? As nothing seems to happen, as you just say something.
I offer a
Roll a
shrug.
perception check.
Oh, my natural is a 20, and that would be a 17.
Okay, so while you're knelt on this central position that's there, you do recognize some of the markings that are on here. They're mixed forms of different languages, both celestial, common, abyssal. Everything's kind of mixed and blended into one. Roll an Arcana check.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know nothing about that, but here's a natural 20. And
So what does that make your total?
21.
21. Okay. You are sat upon an inactive teleportation circle.
Whoa.
If you can activate it somehow, it'll take you somewhere.
Hey, guys, I think... I like whisper lower my voice. I'm like, sorry for interrupting you guys. But we're over here. I think this is a teleportation circle that's been deactivated. I mean, given I don't know anything about magic, but it looks an awful lot like the circles we found before.
Okay.
I will pat them both on the back and be like, good luck. And I will people watch from the side.
And I'll recall what the 4 lines were. They went something like...
Oh, you want me to repeat it?
Please, yes, thank you.
Okay. Stand... Oh, trying to remember now. Stand in the position. Kneel before the gods. Pray. This is what I get for ad-libbing the words of this.
Pray your real desires.
Yeah. Bear your true desires and you'll be taken to the final state.
I could just write final state. I don't think the exact wording is important.
It's a loose
For some
translation,
reason.
you know.
Yeah. So stand in the position, kneel before the gods, and pray your true desires. Yeah, I feel like that's what Allie just did.
And I was especially honest about it.
Yes. Kudos to her for her honesty.
But the thing appears to be inactive.
Right. So it wouldn't work then, even if we were honest. And how do we activate?
Is there like a sigil that is missing in this pattern? Is like something scratched out? Does that look normal right there? Is it? What do you think about that?
Does it?
Roll an Arcana check, Kale.
Guidance. 20.
20. Total?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You've seen situations like this before. There are cases where inactive items require an infusion of magic to kind of kickstart them and push them beyond, like, to reactivate them. So you need to be able to infuse this teleportation circle with magic. Knowing the right amount of magic is going to be difficult, but because it differs. But you figure if you can expend a spell slot of an adequate level, you could reactivate this teleportation circle.
Well, I'm going to give it my best shot here and use my highest available spell slot. I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration on it at level 2.
At level 2,
Mm-hmm.
you find that it does not re-trigger.
So he like puts his hand on it and says the thing, and there's like a little, I guess, flash.
It goes out a little bit, but then just kind of. Yep.
Lucario, maybe you could just put magic on it in it.
Maybe if you both did it at the same time.
Well, I have 2 slots left, or I have the capability of casting 2 more spells before another rest. So let me go ahead and put my paw on this bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
Drop a 4th level slot in there.
You drop a 4th level in, and you do not activate it.
Well, looks like we're camping out here.
Yeah. I'm too tired for any more of this, any more anything.
But if we took another hour, we could just fly up.
If you want to do that, I can't stop anybody from doing anything ever at any time. So just.
Well,
Yeah, we could totally fly up there and be like, hey, please make your teleportation circle work. It'd be real nice.
I'd be for the rest, because God knows we need it. But the Nabanian fella, he seemed quite insistent that we weren't moving quick enough. So that's the only reason I feel compelled to move us along quicker.
Right. So either you or Ellie, you can fly whenever you want. You could just go up there and ask. You're very, charismatic. Just go do that if you want. I'm just gonna lay down.
That's a great idea, Kale. I'll fly up there and they'll go, "Oi, there's a devil! Shoot her down!" I can see it happening almost.
Why do they have that accent though?
Lots of people have accents.
Okay, I don't have the energy to delve deeper into this.
Yeah, you go take a nap.
I'm gonna do that. Before I do, Kale's gonna turn his attention away from his party members and toward the congregation, I guess, and just ask kind of loudly, is there a wizard anywhere in this town? Man,
Sadly, there are no wizards in here.
we only had a wizard.
If only you had a wizard.
All right. I'm gonna he'll just leave.
All right. So you're gonna go get some rest.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Short or long?
He's just gonna go fall asleep, and however long he's asleep.
Okay.
Actually, he'll probably do it in the shrine here.
Okay.
Somehow.
So you just kind of camp out and fall asleep. All right. Then what's everyone else doing while Kale falls unconscious?
I'll take up like a sentry position and my glaive in front of me, like in front of Kale, like I'm protecting him.
Well, if I fly up there, Allie obviously can come with. Wampum and Nos, do you want to come with?
I don't want to leave Kale here.
We should really protect Kale. But I'll fly up if I have someone with me that's not going to get me shot.
I can stay and watch Kale.
Well, it makes sense. Two with Kale, and me and Allie will go up.
Sure.
Okay. So, Ali and Lafcadio, you fly. It's going to take you a while to get up there, but eventually you do start flying up to the underside of Skyreach Castle. I think you guys didn't rename it. I don't think you did. So as you start climbing up, you'll notice that the huge rock formation that this castle is upon has various different holes around the bottom that allow access into little caves. But within quick notice, you can see that those caves have all been recently filled. So they don't appear to be natural formed caves. The blockages have been manually placed in. You fly up and over. This is a huge castle structure with an enormous 100-foot long courtyard on the basic layer. Then above that, a castle structure that has another layer and a huge tower at the back. It's this grand whole cityscape on a castle. And you can see there are stables with griffins at them. There is a dockyard just attached to the northern side with not just Brassick's Folly, but also a second flying ship that's positioned, two boats that both fly, positioned on the docks there. The courtyard is quite busy. There's plenty of humans, elves, gnomes. You see all kinds of races. You see half-orcs and other more exotic creatures. You do see a kobold just hobbling about. What do you do when you get up there?
Preferably land somewhere.
Yep. So you land out in the courtyard. Immediately, a woman starts rushing towards you with a clipboard in her hand. And you are?
Lady Althea Whisperwind.
Okay. Lady Althea Whisperwind. And, sir?
I'm Lafcadio Whitehorn. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure is all ours. Are you expected?
I'm told we are, in fact, expected. We seek an audience with the heroes of Twilight's Errand.
I'm going to give off the names that I learned from the wench that I totally didn't write down.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, greetings to you all. Follow me, please. My name is Pao Ming, and I shall be your guide while I'm here. Please keep your hands to yourselves until we've gotten through the proper clearings.
Of course.
I think it's worth I tell you, I know your accent is fake, just FYI. It's a pleasure to meet you, lady, but just so we're out in the open.
Oh, perfectly. If that's how it is.
Okay.
It was kind of a whim. But,
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. And she'll lead you off and take you to a grand hall that is decorated in brilliant reds and blues and greens. Just a very well-decorated place. There's plenty of people feasting on a long table in the middle, and there, sat at the head table, is a half-elven male, a bit of grey in his hair, but otherwise fairly young-looking, probably late 40s, early 50s or something, I think. Yeah, about that time. He has a wife, woman sat next to him. It's just the two of them. She steps forward. Yes, this is Lafcadio, and would you like to give your real name?
Sure. Allie will do just fine.
Ali. Lafcadio and Ali, this is Erin and Osrin. They say that they were supposed to be here and meet you. To which point they wave Pao Ming off. My Erin impression is terrible, so forgive me, Tai. But, so you're the ones we've been waiting for. Good, we can get this show on the road. Are there any more of you?
Aye, we've got 3 more down below. We didn't have quite the reserves to get everyone up at the same time. Do you have any?
Everyone up? Do you?
We have 3 more down below in the city, Parnest.
Right. Did you? I guess you couldn't get them all to fly. I guess.
Right, yeah, we didn't have the power in our reserves to make it. Do you have a way to bring them up?
We can have a ship sent out immediately. Can you give me descriptions? Or would you like to go with them?
Well, one's a really tired half-elf. He probably looks like he's been through an ordeal. One's a hobgoblin with a glaive, and the other one's a angry-looking dwarf.
Well, we'll come with. Well, there's no reason to just...
Okay. All right. So Aaron will step up and lead you. His armor looks quite shiny and unused of late, but he is still wearing it almost always with far too many weapons strapped to his back. Leading you guys through the courtyard off towards the docks, he takes one of the ships and commands the crew to settle down, take it down to the city. You watch as a balloon is released from a central machine. It then expands above the ship with quite the gusto, a sudden surprise and a kind of feel as this balloon appears above. The ship then picks up, starts sailing off, lowers itself down, whereupon Wampum and Nos and Kale, well, Kale's asleep, but Wampum and Nos will see people gasping with alarm as an airship is flying down to the city of Parnast.
I mean, that freaks them out, but the flying castle, nothing.
Do you ask them about it?
No.
Why
no.
they're freaked out?
I can't, I'm asleep.
As the ship lands on the floor, the ship itself looks like it's on skis, so it's raised up quite a bit. About, I would say, Lafcadio and Ali, you guys are at eye level with the top of the shrine when you land. You can look down and call out to them. A rope ladder is dropped out below.
I think that's all right.
Well, we've been in worse, ain't we?
Kale.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
Allie yells out, and she's like, "Wake Kale up and get on!"
I can carry you, but I don't think you want that to be your first impression.
Okay. And he'll grab the mace, the huge ass mace, and he'll use it as leverage to just get up. All right, where are we going? What's happening?
Skyward.
Airship.
Okay, good. How long has it been?
Not long.
Great. That makes sense because I still feel like complete fucking garbage. All right,
We're
let's
about to get somewhere good.
Okay. Great.
So you have a rope ladder ahead of you. Do you help Kale up, Wampum and Nos? Yeah. They help you up onto the airship. It looks like a normal boat, but with a balloon above it and a furnace, like a hot air balloon. Immediately, as soon as you three are on the ship, they pick up and start sailing back up towards the city of Skyreach. Landing back on the docks, drop down. Now on solid ground, Erin stands in front of all of you. Let me welcome you all to Skyreach. Before we get into the business of getting to know one another, this thing is annoyingly slow, so we need to know where we need to go quickly so that we can get started on the travel.
Luskin.
Luskin, okay? All right. Bombing! She'll come stepping out. Yep. Go tell the helm we're going to Luskin. Oh, okay, Luskin. Again. Are you sure we want to go to Luskin? It's Are you? Yep. I'm sure. All right. So, the ship then, she goes and disappears off. Within a couple minutes, the castle will start to lurch slowly, to turn, and then start making its way. People begin to disembark from this location. Merchants pack up their wares and then start moving back down to the land below. Erin brings you in to all sit down, enjoy a meal, relax, rest, recuperate. If you need any healing, we have those services.
Can we get my buddy a bed?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Some of the food to go, though.
I'm Nos, by the way.
Greetings, Nos. Erin, Leoka.
Well met, Aaron Liu. How much does a place like this cost to run?
Pao Ming deals with that.
Pao Ming! She's...
A lot.
Pao Ming!
She's getting tired. She's a little bit older than everyone else. A lot. It costs a lot to run. But we keep it active. Merchants constantly working in and out of the place, both our own and visiting. It's quite the bustling little city.
Are you talking like thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands? Where's my new goal?
The ship has a turnover of tens of thousands of gold per month.
By the gods.
We don't deal with that stuff. It's all in the building of the city and supporting other people and Gamel's projects. You'll meet him at some point. But yeah, so we'll get you a room. And immediately some servants come up and start rushing you. Ushers, rather. They make a point not to be servants, but to be ushers. Difference is they're paid. So they lead you off to a room that is very comfortable, very large. It's like a basic tavern room, just a little bit better quality. Nothing too fancy, but certainly comfortable enough for you to sleep, and it's safe enough for you to do so. But you are in the bowels of this castle that sat on a rock. Okay.
I have a lot of questions about that for somebody, but not right now.
Yep. And you can think about those questions between now and next session. What do the rest of you like to do? We've been expecting you. It's been a while since we were told to come and get you. We're almost given up hope.
Well, we were
I
sent
could use some of that healing that you were talking about, and then a nice hot bath.
Okay. Right. Then we'll get people squared away and we'll talk over a meal later then. Everyone rest, recuperate. It went again.
That was his headphones.
Ugh.
Better? Okay.
Just had to
No.
unplug and replug in my headphones. For some reason, it decided it wanted to freak out at me. So perhaps everyone rests for the night before we actually, well, the night. Rest for a time before we actually have a meal together. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Right. You'll meet more of the crew once you've awoken. So they lead the rest of you to bedrooms where you'll camp out. You'll have plenty of food brought to you to help you recuperate, to sleep. You'll have a safe long rest. So gain the full benefits of a long rest. Hit points back up to maximum. Kale, your exhaustion level goes back to 3, which means at the end of this long rest, your hit point maximum has gone back to the normal. Hit dice, if you had expended any, you get back 4. I think, no, 5, because it's half your level rounded up. All right. Then as you are woken up, having gained the benefits of a full long rest, there are ushers waiting for you to take you to a meeting room just off to the top tower, the top level of Skyreach Castle. The journey is a bit annoying in that it's not just a straight walk. You have to go down a corridor, up a spiral staircase, and then down a different corridor, up another staircase, and back and forth. It's a bit of a maze inside this rock structure. But eventually you'll pop out into the upper level where the central portion of this open area is one huge domed piece. They walk you right inside where there is a meeting room, a large table that looks like it's carved straight from a huge plank of wood, a huge tree, rather than being finely, neatly cut. It's really rough and broken. Sat around it are a few other individuals, along with Erin, who stood over it with a map of the Sword Coast on top of it, and Luskan marked out with a little pin as the next point of call. So, tell me, what trouble are we in now?
Well, the planes are merging, and someone called the Master is running an organization through Luskan. Correct me if I'm wrong. I stop paying attention sometimes. We need to steal something of value and present it in Luskan. So, I mean, if you have anything that you don't mind losing that I could steal to put there as an offering so that we can lure our enemies out, that would be great. Let's see, what I missed. We smashed a crystal in the Feywild. There's demons and devils working together. And that's all I've got.
We were also told by some kind of lion angel guy that you might know a guy that knows how to get around a lot faster.
Yeah. You see Aaron roll his eyes. Yeah. I was kind of hoping that wouldn't be the case. But we know someone. Wizard. Can't have too many wizards, can you?
One would be nice from time to time.
Yeah. We can send him a message to say that we need an audience with him. We need to talk. He should be answering my calls right now, I think. I mean, we parted on good terms last time.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check.
Boy. 12.
You don't know.
All right.
You don't know if that's true or not. Okay. So, with anything else I should know? Situation.
Nope, you got it. Do you guys have any diamonds or diamond dust? I'd feel a lot better if you had some diamond dust.
We do have a fairly well-stocked merchant's quarter. If you would like to acquire some from the stores, you can do so.
Sure. Where is that?
I can help with that. We'll get those things. There was a few more details that wanted to share in case you had any extra insights.
Okay.
We are led to believe that the fella behind these schemes is referred to as the Master, and he may be a servant of some sort of deity named Cord.
Cord.
One of his agents was a Goliath sorcerer who we dealt with south of Silvery Moon. He was apparently the one who put a crystal in the Feywild, which began tearing the wall between the Feywild and the Shadowfell apart.
How did you end up all the way down here, if you were in Silvery Moon?
After we were in Silvery Moon, we went to Everland, and in Everland we found a portal to the Shadowfell. And in the Shadowfell, we found a flying city, and that flying city had another crystal that we destroyed, and one of the other agents of the Master was some sort of demon.
Right.
But there was an imprisoned angel up there who gave us the name of a dwarf named Ilurion. And this angel is the one who claimed that devils and demons are working together, and they were able to imprison and subdue this angel.
Well, it looks like you've been busy.
While Lefkadi is saying that, Ellie's going to pull out the mask, the remnants of the mask that the angel was having, and try to slide it over the table.
Mm-hmm. The broken face piece. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
The angel wasn't exactly forthcoming with what his mission was or who he was representing, but he did say he was carrying a message to one of the rulers of the Hells, Zariel.
Divine Edict, specifically.
Divine Edict.
Right. I don't know much about the Hells. You'll learn far more about the Hells from our friend. He knows more about that stuff as I do. I've been there. Don't want to go again. That wasn't fun. Well, actually, it was kind of fun, wasn't it? But enough plane hopping for me. I'm getting old. All right. We'll get in touch with our friend, and we'll get it sorted. But just so that you know, this is where we're at. 3 months ago, an individual that looked very much like your lion friend here, and he points to Lafcadio, showed up inside our castle in spectral form, asking for help.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, I assumed it wasn't actually you. I mean, you look a little bit different, but definitely someone came in asking for help, and we ummed and ahed for a bit about whether or not to do so, but eventually, after a couple visits of you saying the same thing over and over again to us, eventually we started moving the ship over, and that's when the messages stopped, when we finally settled over Parnast. So, you have us as allies, I guess. Some entity has us in play, and we'll give you the aid we need. But the city is going to take a while to get from here to Luskan. All in all, close to about 4 months.
Oh, man.
Well, I know it looked like that ship traveled a bit faster than the castle. Is that right?
Correct. That ship travels much quicker than the castle.
And our path. Forgive me. I'm not exactly that well versed with the topography of the Sword Coast, but do we pass anywhere? Is here in Luskan? Does Yata fit somewhere in there?
Yata's just over halfway to Luskan.
Well, if we could take a ship to Yata, and we have some friends there who will let us use a teleportation circle up to Neverwinter to get to Luskan, which might be quicker.
Shit. How far are we from Waterdeep, do you think? Is that closer? Or Loudwater? I don't know where Loudwater is.
So Loudwater is actually really close to you.
Oh, let's just go there then.
Yeah. Loudwater is close to maybe a 10-day at most.
Is that
Okay.
in the circle?
Yeah, that was part of the that was part of the network.
Well, that seems like a much better idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're headed to Loudwater instead.
Yes,
Okay.
sorry to change the direction so abruptly. I was kind of in a hurry to go to sleep yesterday.
Saved us some time. So we're already on the way, which is good.
And we can still take the ship. The castle can do whatever the castle does.
So it would take a 10-day by ship.
It would take a 10-day by the small ship.
Okay.
No, actually, it would take less. One of our airships would take about 6 days to get there. We, as the full city, could make it in 10.
All right. Great. That sounds like a great idea. We should maybe stick around here for a little while to maybe stock up on any supplies we might need.
Yep. You're welcome to trade for whatever you need.
Is there any sort of clergy here of any kind?
Yes, there is some clergy. There is a small shrine that has been set up, and there is a roaming clergy. And by that, what I mean is every few months we get a different priest come in to act on behalf of a different deity. It helps business. Bao Ming's idea.
Yep.
Yeah, people feel more comfortable when they have different people to pray to.
So you're. What's the point? What's the primary purpose of the city? It's to exploit people's religious beliefs for profit, or?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's to provide opportunities for people to profit and exploration within this space.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You know what? I'm not going to read too much into it because you're being extremely helpful for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
Great. Acceptable answer. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Are you guys cool with gambling?
Yeah. Just don't gamble for something you don't actually own.
Well, yeah. What? Okay.
Wait. What else could you gamble for?
I mean, gamble with something you
Oh.
don't actually own. Yeah.
Gotcha.
There are
I thought
people that tend to gamble with things they don't actually have,
Right.
and then we have problems.
Yeah, I thought that maybe was a roundabout way of saying no.
No. All right.
I heard you
Then-
wrong. Sorry.
I said wrong. So, with our party of heroes enjoying the comforts of a wonderful city and meeting some experienced adventurers, we will end the session there. We will rejoin the adventure next week as we make it to Loudwater to then teleport quickly to Luskan. The journey moves forward. The adventure continues. Join us next week. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.